Scary ghostly encounters. Do you need a good night's sleep? Then find something else to watch because these scary ghostly encounters are gonna keep you up all night. Jason finds himself drawn back to an abandoned warehouse that had left him terrified during his previous visit. In that previous visit, he had stumbled upon a location rumored to be haunted. He had set up a camera there and couldn't shake the feeling of being watched and being touched. He attributed to the supernatural presence lurking within.
I'm back. And this is probably a very bad idea.
Would you have returned? Initially adamant about never returning, Jason decided to revisit the warehouse. However, it is clear that he is reluctant and uneasy about being there. Following the same path as before, he enters a creepy corridor beneath the building.
You don't see my breath. But as soon as you come in here, oh my god, it's freezing. As soon as you come in here, I don't know if the camera can see that, I hope so. But that's crazy.
That's where things start to take a strange turn. As Jason steps into the corridor, he notices a sudden change in temperature, adding to the unsettling atmosphere. However, what happens next surpasses all the strangeness he had encountered. Upon reaching the spot where he had felt a touch during his previous visit, a profound sense of dread engulfs him. A faint blue light illuminates the area, emanating from the infrared cameras he had set up there before. Near the cameras, a small staircase leads to an unexplored space below. Curiosity gets the better of Jason. He cautiously investigates, capturing an eerie audio of a deep, monotone whisper. The whisper alone would have driven most people away, but Jason's true fright comes moments later.
It's a weird noise in this room. That's creepy. It's a weird noise in this room.
Returning to the upper floor in the creepy corridor, Jason is met with a horrifying event. A piece of debris falls from above, crashing onto the ground, sending him into a panicked frenzy as he rushes out. Unbeknownst to him, at the same time, the infrared camera from below captures footage of a ghostly figure walking before vanishing mere seconds.
That scared the out of me.
After the debris fell. Did you see that? Did you see that?
It's nasty. What the hell is that?
Shaken to his core, Jason searches for the fallen debris only to find a large box lying on the street. Determined to capture the evidence of the entity responsible, he intends to retrieve the cameras to set up on the top floor. He returns to the spot below where the cameras were initially placed, only to experience a chilling encounter.
I know y'all heard that. That scared the out of me.
From the footage caught on camera, Jason is forcefully yanked to the ground. By an unseen force. When he comes to, he realizes he had been out for quite some time. Terrified by the incident, he swiftly gathers his belongings and hastily departs from the warehouse, vowing never to return. Don't you agree he really shouldn't have returned in the first place? With the accumulation of eerie events and the past incident, viewers strongly believe that a sinister presence resides within the warehouse. Whether the entity is malicious or not remains a question. Jason's footage has left everyone pondering whether it is evidence of the paranormal or if there is a different explanation altogether. One thing is certain: Jason will never venture back to that place again, knowing that something inexplicable and menacing awaits within its walls. This chilling video originates from a sanatorium in Argentina where a security guard encounters something inexplicable during his night shift. Whispers of its haunted nature hadn't recently emerged. Surveillance footage from the inside the hospital captured a peculiar incident that left everyone perplexed. At approximately 3 in the morning, as a security guard attended to paperwork, he saw an elderly woman walking through the automatic doors at the entrance. As part of the job, he got up and approached her, assisting her as she entered. That was the guard's recollection of the morning's events. Pay attention to the guard's actions in this video. Do you see something unusual, or maybe not see? Upon reviewing the footage, an eerie narrative unfolded. The video revealed the guard engaging in conversation, responding to someone despite there being no visible presence alongside him. The doors appeared to open as if welcoming an unseen visitor. The guard's account matched every detail except for one crucial element: the old woman herself. No one besides the guard witnessed her presence. However, the subsequent revelation is truly creepy. According to the guard, after assisting the old woman and offering her a wheelchair, she expressed her intention to visit the 10th floor in search of a deceased patient's belongings and identification. Entering the elevator, she vanished without a trace. Intriguingly, the guard had recorded the woman's name on his clipboard, and it coincided with that of a patient who had passed away the previous day from the 10th floor. The possibility of the old lady's ghost returning to collect her possessions added an extra layer of eeriness. Regrettably, no further information about the incident or the video's aftermath is available, leaving it shrouded in mystery. As it stands, this haunting occurrence in the sanatorium remains unresolved, making one wonder if it was a genuine encounter with the supernatural or a skillfully constructed tale. What do you think? Like many online videos, the one that follows lacks substantial information, yet it remains incredibly peculiar. It might have originated from someone who has been experiencing unexplained events within their home, and by placing the camera inside their bedroom, they aim to capture the frequent strange occurrences that unfold within. It appears to be late at night when the following incident takes place. As you watch, the man suddenly lifts off the bed, as if an unseen force tugs him upward from his feet. In a state of panic, he hastily moves to the other end of the bed, attempting to comprehend the bewildering event. The video abruptly ended with an empty screen, leaving viewers in the dark. What is your opinion? Is this footage genuine or not? If true, it is terrifying, isn't it? One has to wonder what the man decided to do seeing the footage the next day. Jacob inherited an old house from his grandmother, but he wasn't quite sure if he wanted to keep it. The house was in bad shape and needed a lot of repairs. However, After a strange incident, Jacob made up his mind. What do you think prompted him to come to that decision? One night when it was very late, Jacob woke up to a noise in his bedroom. He set up a camera and recorded what happened next. He heard a sound coming from the closet, but when he checked, there was nothing inside. Then suddenly loud banging came from the other side of the room. Jacob was really scared, but something even creepier happened that Jacob didn't notice until he watched the video again. At the beginning of the clip, the clown doll on top of the drawer was looking at the bed, but later it was looking at the door. How creepy is that? That night, Jacob moved the doll downstairs in the living room. He believed it came to life that night and was glad he had the evidence of it. The video is pretty spooky and we don't know what exactly happened. But because of this incident, Jacob has made up his mind about whether to keep the house or not. Overall, though, whatever happened that night left him absolutely terrified. There is one thing even more terrifying than these clips. It's what your life would be like without watching more of our videos.